What's going on, guys? Today I got the chance to sit down with RJ Martinez. Now, if you guys have been in print on demand, you probably already know his name, but if not, RJ has done over $150,000 in royalties just on merch by Amazon. Not to mention, he also has his hands in the KDP space and a bunch of other print on demand platforms, and he's a rock star when it comes to building businesses. So in this interview, it takes us a little bit of time to get going, but once we get into it, we're going to cover how he got his start in print on demand and Amazon, and there's a ton of other powerful insights in here about how he builds his team and runs his business. So let us know if you guys got some value out of this by liking the video, and let us know in the comments what your biggest takeaway was. But let's go ahead and hop right into the content. What's going on, guys? We are here with a very special guest. So this is the godfather of merch by Amazon print on demand, RJ Martinez. What is going on, man? Happy to have you.
Yo, what's up, man? Thank you for having me on. What's going on?
Fired up. So you've done over 6 figures in royalties just on the merch by Amazon platform, not to mention all these other platforms. You were one of the first guys that I actually started following when I got into this whole print on demand space. So I guess I'm kind of curious to just take it back. You know, I started my YouTube channel really just to get these opportunities to connect with people like you and other merch by Amazon sellers and print on demand sellers. So if we could take it back to kind of the beginning, you know, I'm just curious, how did you get introduced to merch by Amazon, the whole print on demand space? Because I know you've told me before that you were doing some Amazon FBA stuff. So if you could just kind of tell us how you got into that whole space.
Yeah, man. It started with, so I was working at my full-time job, really good job, awesome job. It like literally just opened up a whole different world of talking to people and stuff like that, and learning from individuals, learning from new people from China, stuff like that. Because I work retail, worked in the mall. So I meet all kinds of like different type of different types of people, right, in the world. And I thought it was really cool. And yeah, man, next thing you know it, I bought something. I think it was from like Walgreens or something like that. I was doing Amazon FBA. I wanted to see if it would sell. And then I listed it, and then I think it was like a negative profit, but it sold, right? And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I made negative $2 ROI or something. And I was like, but it sold though. So I was like, so it's real, right? Because at first I thought it was a scam. You couldn't do this and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, there has to be something. So then I started making sales, and then next thing you know it, I was doing a lot of RA, retail arbitrage and online arbitrage and stuff like that, and buying stuff and flipping it. And then I started making some good money with that. But the thing was, when I started doing that, I noticed that sometimes you'll buy like a lot of one unit, and then once it gets to the warehouse, people like just tank the listing. And I was like, dude, I know you're not making no money on this listing. What are you doing that for? Just keep it up. But then I was like, hey, but this is what happens, right? There's competition, right? There's always competition when you start to do certain things. So I was like trying to figure out a way to be different. So then I started selling shoes, and then I started flipping shoes. And it was cool with shoes because you buy them for like $50, sell them for like $100 or $90, $80. And then, you know, you're making $30, $40, $50 profit just on a shoe sold, right? And I think
you were selling them on eBay or on Amazon or both?
Amazon. And then I started meeting new people in the FBA community, and I was like, cool, man, these people are pretty cool. And just I met my everyday people that I would talk to and stuff like that, and flip shoes and stuff. But then next thing you know it, I started working like a good 15, 16 hours, and I was like, dude, I can't be sending in all these shoes and all this stuff, and back's hurting. I was like, I can't be doing this. I was out working my grandpa's garage, by the way, at the time too. And I was like, dude, there has to be something else. And then I heard about print on demand, and I literally uploaded a design. I was talking to basically my VA, my designer at the time. I was talking to him, and I told him to create a design for me. He ended up creating one because I didn't know nothing about Photoshop. I didn't know nothing about none of that stuff, graphic design, whatever you want to call it. I didn't know nothing about that. And uploaded a design. I put it at cost. Ended up selling like 10 shirts by the next day. But I was still doing, you know, selling shoes. And I was like, oh, dude, okay. I see what it's doing. I see what we got going on right here. And I really didn't pay attention to it. And I was like, And then I started doing shoes more and more. Q4 hit, doing shoes still. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start buying some designs. So I started buying some designs off a guy from Fiverr. And I was like, dude, these designs are way too much. So then I went back to the design. My designer guy was like, all right, how many designs can you do for me? Like, if I pay you $200 right now, how many designs can you do for me? So then we started working out a deal, and the next he did a ton of designs for one niche for me, And I learned like basically because I know about FBA, I know how people are searching for things and stuff like that. It's like that's my favorite thing to do is just figure out how people search for things and how people buy things, stuff like that, and doing the research and all that stuff. And I put some really solid keywords in the listing, and then next thing you know, I think I made like 200 or 400. I documented it in my first YouTube video. And that was a cool thing about that. I made $200 or $400 in my first month, and I literally pulled out $200 for my designer to actually make more designs. It's like, dude, and make sure you're not freaking copying designs, all right? Because you're gonna get me like out and banned, and I'm gonna be all. And I was like, don't be doing none of that stuff. So I had to make sure I was following the rules correctly the first time. And I did. At the beginning, I put like free shipping in the merch by Amazon listing. And the next thing you know, the terms of service is like, you can't do that. I was like, oh, dang. So I had to go in and re-edit all them and take that all out. And then the next thing you know, the next month I made like 2,000. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's a big come up right there.
Yeah. So it went from I literally went from like 200 to 400 to $2,000 a month, and then 3,000, and then 5,000, and then 6,000. I was like, dude, it's crushing. And then of course, as we go along and started to learn the platform more and more on Merch by Amazon, like little things happen. Like we had our ASINs reset it, and then I started making content and trying to help people. And then next thing you know, it just like, dude, there's like, hey, creating content is like a full-time job. And this is like 3 years from now. So 3 years later, now we're on the interview right here. But the thing is like content's a full-time job too. I was like, dude, I gotta focus on one or the other. But then I was like, you know what? Merch by Amazon is my main thing. And then, you know what I mean? And then I was like, the reason I created a YouTube channel is to help people based off of what I do and what I learned throughout the way. So I can be very transparent to help other people. You know what I mean? And that's how I grew a following pretty fast, because I'm very transparent with the stuff that I create. And I think that was really cool. And that's how it all started, man. And next thing you know, I just,
Yeah, it's rad. There's a lot to tease out in what you just said, but one of the first things was, it's so funny how addicting that, for me at least, that first sale was so addicting. And I think I had a very similar experience where it's like, I sold something and I was just excited that I sold something. I don't think I even made money on it. I probably didn't even actually, I remember the very first thing I ever sold was my Pokemon collection in high school on eBay. And first of all, now I'm really upset. I wish I still had that, because I'm sure it would have been worth way more money. But I sold it and had no idea how shipping or anything worked. I ended up having to pay like a $50 shipping charge because I had it in this like thick binder to send out and everything. But the idea of just getting that first sale, I think that's really where the switch kind of clicked for me. So was it the same for you? Like, it sounds like you got that first sale, even though you didn't make money. You're like, maybe there's something with this whole internet thing, right?
Yeah. I think it's also too, just adding to that, just like when in high school, like I would sell like bootleg, like, like music and stuff like that to friends. Like I had like all the Tupac albums. I had all the Bone Thugs albums. I had 3 6 Mafia albums, and Project Pat and all that stuff. And so many people might not know that, but that's way before your time. But I have all these, these collections. I'm just a freshman in high school, and I know that a lot of people, like, back in the day was like about putting systems in your car when I was growing up and bumping music. So I was like, you know what? I got these CDs over here. So I'll go buy a whole stack of CDs when I used to work at Kmart back in the day. Looks like I got my Kmart shirt on right now. Nice. But I would burn the disc and sell them for like $5 to $10, and I just sell them. I would sell them pretty much every day, and I'll pay for my food and stuff like that at school when I wanted chips and stuff. So I was like, cool, man. And then next thing you know, like I bought the first generation iPod when it came out, the little wheel and stuff like that. And then I uploaded all my music to it. I got it for $200, and then I ended up selling it for like $300 because I had all the music in there. I was like, oh, dude, what the heck? So, you know what I mean? So
you started from a young age, just getting stuff going. You've just been grinding, and it's just evolved over the years, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That's the crazy thing about it too, because it's just like second nature, right? Growing up, and you just do certain things, and you have to eat and stuff like that, and you got to do what you got to do. Growing up as a kid and stuff like that, and I'm just like, dude, it's a whole different, like, even with like I don't know, just growing up, just what it is, what it's like, and you're being around other people that you just want it more than you, and you're like, dude, what are you doing different than me that you can get it and I can't? And I'm just like, he's working harder, that's all it is. I'm just like, all right, let's do it then, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always wonder that too, because like some people really have that mentality, and other people, they don't naturally have it, or they're not curious about it. Like they're not curious about how to go home from their day job and then find ways to make extra money online. And that's all right. It doesn't have to be like that for everyone, but for the people who are interested, like I feel like the other good thing that you kind of pointed out there is it's an evolution. You don't start and go straight to making, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, right? It takes time. You said the first few things you didn't really make a ton of money. They made a little bit, maybe opened up the door, but you kept evolving, right? So you went from doing a lot of that retail arbitrage stuff and all that to now you're crushing it with print on demand, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's cool. So, okay, so you got into Merch by Amazon in what was it, 2016 or 17?
2017. So like how I sent in, I missed the day, right, to automate the automatic approval. So I missed that day by a day because I was like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow type of shit. Like, you know what I mean? And then I was like, I'll do it tomorrow when I have time. Like, I had all the damn time. Like even though I do a lot of stuff right now, I still have time to do certain things because, it's just all up in here, right? So I literally messed up because I said, I'll do it tomorrow because I don't have enough time today. And I made that excuse for myself, right? And I ended up doing it the next day, and I missed that automatic approval. So I had to wait another 3 months to get approved. And also, too, I didn't get the email of the approval. I logged in, and it was like, "Oh, dude, I think I can upload a design." Yeah, and then I made my first horrible design, my shitty design. I made it my first design, and it was horrible. And I made it myself, and I think it was it was just horrible looking, and I uploaded it. But
man, sometimes I wish if we could just all share our early designs, because my first 50 designs were so horrendous, so bad. But somehow people still bought them and I got teared up. But it's just funny because you don't have people think that maybe you need this skill of design or something to start, but really you can just try things out, right? Just throw something up there. It's gonna work, maybe it won't, and then you'll evolve and adjust as you go, right? So I didn't even, also the other thing I was going to say, I didn't even know there was an auto approval period till you told me, because I didn't start till mid or late 2017. So it was definitely, I had to wait. And another thing I learned from you is just, if you see any programs with Amazon, just apply for them. They have Amazon Handmade came out. There was another one they sent out an email about a while ago. I just apply for them. I don't even know if I'm going to use them, but throw in an application because you don't know, it might work out in your favor.
Yeah. Amazon Ignite.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Also, too, just adding to that, dude, just because you're not people think that you have to be certified to do something and do this and do that. If the content works, it works, right? And that's it. That's another thing too. So for example, maybe creating a design, right? In some people's minds, might be creating a piece of content, piece of art for somebody, right? And if they like it, they're gonna buy it, right? Same thing applies to pretty much everything else. And I'll buy all I say, that's always joke around. It's my designs suck and you can still this is a full-time income where it takes care of all my cost of living and stuff like that. And when I talk to people in person about this type of stuff, and I say, yeah, it pays for my cost of living, right? It pays for my bills, pays for my rent.
Yeah, that's legit. It's powerful to have that, man. It's powerful.
But also too, just at the same time too, also just send it that way to an individual in person. And just, but at the same, just I can help you. If you have a question, I'll answer it for you. I'm not gonna be oh yeah, I do this, and you know what I mean. And I'm not gonna tell you nothing. He's I'll help. I don't mind doing that. That's part of me as an individual, as a human being. I grew up that way, right? So that's just the way it is, man. So.
Yeah, for anyone watching, RJ responds to every message all the time. Hopefully this doesn't mean your inbox gets flooded, but you're so good about being responsive, even as I've watched your channel and everything grow. I think you're at almost 20K subscribers on YouTube now?
Yeah, about to hit over 20K. Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's get him to 20K if he's not there. But I think everyone who's going to be watching this probably already knows about you anyway. So So you gave us a little background. So now you're making what on average? I think your January income report for 2021 you just posted was 6K on just Merch by Amazon. So so right now where's your business at in terms of what platforms are you selling on, and is Merch by Amazon still kind of the biggest piece of the pie?
Yeah. So I do other things too as well. So I really don't count them. I do, but I don't. It's more of a bonus because my main focus is this year. I told myself it's Merch by Amazon, KDP. Okay. And then YouTube. But so with the KDP part of things, the way that Merch by Amazon has showed me a lot, in 2020, even though we were shut down for that whole month, it just showed me if you focus on me over here, I'm going to make you more money. Right.
Right.
And I'm just dude. And I think it's crazy because literally it's telling me focus on me, right? Why would you focus on KDP? But I'm just like KDP, like every single book that I have up and one of my brands is sold, right?
Yeah, that's
So what
epic.
is that telling you? I'm just like, what is that? So like
Yeah.
me, I'm a data guy. I'm like, that's telling me that it's going to be successful, but I had to put more work into it. All right. And it's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put books up and then I'm gonna leave for 2 years and I'll come back and I'll be making $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's
See
not
that? I
like
mean,
that.
that's how I did it. Started with KDP. I was like, I'll just throw up like 500 of my merch by Amazon designs. I'm sure they're going to sell. I'm going to make $1,000 a month at least. And now I'm making like $10 a month. Like they were horrible designs. So now I have to just actually put in the work, create quality content. But yeah, it's a learning process, right? It's try things out and then adjust course as you go. So with merch by Amazon now, the other thing I wanted to bring up, just because I'm not really doing a lot with PPC on merch by Amazon. I'm familiar with PPC from doing FBA, but I'm just curious, like, what is your approach to PPC with merch by Amazon? Like, are you only launching it on products that are already selling well, or are you looking at like, hey, I'm going to put up 10 new products today or 10 new designs. I'm going to launch PPC on all 10 of these to kind of get them ranking. So I'm just curious, like, what approach do you take? And just like any insight on that stuff.
Yeah. So like the last, let me see, like the last 6 months, I've been kind of just as I launch new ads, right? As I launch new products, I'll launch new ads. And for example, I launched one on the 10th, 8 days ago, right? And it's made a one sell, 24 cents, 19.99 at 1% a cost.
Nice.
So
nice.
like that is like basically it's saying that from what I'm looking at it and from what I understand of testing and stuff like that, it's like, okay, you're getting the boost from Amazon, right? And then might as well you're going to get double the boost if you put AMS behind it. Everyone's strategy is different when it comes to AMS, so there's like no one size fit all. So
Sure.
I noticed that what I noticed last year and I slacked off on was I have good designs, right? And they sell and they crush, right? And this is all like in different niches too, and they do really well. And I have an ACOS, and their ACOS, some of them are at 15%, right? And it's like cool, but the break even for a standard T-shirt, if I price it at $19.99, it's like 26%, but I aim for 25, my target. And I'm just like, if I push it just a little bit more, right, increase the bid and increase the daily budget, that 15%, in a way, if you think about it, I'm leaving money on the table, right? So going back to your question, what you said, it's like it depends on the individual, right? First of all, depends on the individual. But me telling you that right there, I did it on the 10th and made a sell already with AMS. So basically, I'm giving it like a boost, a launching pad, right? Boom, throw it out there. Someone buys it. Boom, it ranks. Now I'm on the front page. Basically, that's the way I see it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's tricky because it's just like what you were saying, right? Amazon the platform is unique from maybe like running ads on Facebook or something else. And that, obviously the A9 or whatever algorithm they're using now, it's the more sales you get, the more you're going to rank organically, right? And so even if maybe you're going to bid high and be more aggressive with PPC up front and you're not making money up front, but that might rank your shirt, right? And then you're in front of more eyeballs and you're getting more sales organically. So yeah, it is. I feel like it's definitely a game of give and take, like you said. Now, again, I haven't done a lot of PPC with my merch by Amazon shirts, but so you're launching the campaigns. Are you launching auto or manual campaigns or both?
Auto.
Do you launch auto first for any products you get started with, and then any converting keywords you take and put in manual campaigns?
Yeah, so like I'll launch auto, and then once I see it like making sales, and sometimes it just organically makes sales because my keyword research is damn good. That's one of the most important things because that's like, see, there's levels to this, like there's steps to this, right?
Right.
And it's not just, and I say that like as in I've been working my ass off to do this so I can actually accomplish this, right? It's not like, oh yeah, he's just saying that to toot his horn. Like, no, I don't give a damn. It doesn't matter to me. I actually work at it and put the effort into it. And just like with anything else, but I have to understand the process myself before I even outsource any of this stuff, right? So that's the main thing. And just with AMS, it's a whole different ball game, right? So the keyword research, and then as you start to make sales with that one product, right? It makes sense to you can either launch a manual ad, right? You can do either a broad or a phrase, and then if you have an idea, right? If you know what the customer is going to search for to find this design, this product, or whatever it is, do an exact, right? And I've done this with like if I launch like a broad, I'll launch like a broad manual ad, right? And then it will like put like those long tail keywords that I think that will convert for. You can use like Celebro, the Helium 10, and it will literally, I'll see like stuff converting at a low A cost, like at 2 or 3 or 4 or 5%, and it will crush, man. And literally, it's just a whole different like ball game AMS, right?
Yeah, yeah. I need to experiment with it a little bit more because I feel like a lot of people will dabble with it and then they'll be like, I don't have the bandwidth to put towards this. But if you really get into it, it can crush for your business, right?
Yeah.
Not to mention you're getting a ton of keyword information too. This is what people are searching for that, they're converting on. So you can go and put that in your listings after. So you mentioned also in there that the, just talking about automating a little bit, I'm curious, like, what does your team look like right now? And like, what are your kind of the things that you focus on every day? Like you have a designer, do you have someone that helps you with uploading or doing PPC or any of that stuff? I'm just curious how you structure everything because you seem so busy. How do you get all this stuff done?
Yeah, I can't do all that by myself. I was like, I'm being honest too, because it's just like, oh yeah, at first when I was younger, 31 now, but when I was like 21, I was just like big ego and working out all the time, going to the gym, and I could do all this by myself, one man machine type of thing. And I'm just like, dude, I want to grow. It's like, that's not the way to do it, RJ. It's like 2 years of doing it. I'm just like, it's not the way to do it, man. You better shut up. Like you understand what you're doing. So I do have a designer and I have a 2 illustrators. I just recently got a new illustrator on the team. Okay. I have my designer and my illustrator. The designer, I think he's been with me for like about 3.5 years. And then the illustrator's been close to 2.5.
Okay.
And then this new one I got on, he's pretty good, and he's really on top of it, and you can tell he's working. You can like literally once you start doing this online stuff, you can tell who's working and who's not working. You can tell. Right off the back, dog. Yeah, I'll be honest with you because I've done this. I've been doing this, and I'm just like, I can tell like if you're working at it, if you're not working at it, and because you can see you're striving for it, right? You can see that, you notice that, you pay attention to stuff like that. But yeah, man. So that right there, and then I have a SEO guy to help me with the keyword research and stuff like that. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's still running into some issues. Like he's been working with me for like about a good 3 months. The previous one that I had, he was working with me for like a good year, and then started mouthing off a little bit, and choke him through the computer screen, but I didn't, and I was just like, whatever, paid him. And then he said a few smart things, and I was like, all right, dude. It's like, I don't need you to work with me. I'll find someone else. Yeah. I kept you working with me for a long time, so I just blocked him, and that's it, dude. That's it.
Don't insult the boss.
I don't have time for that, man. It's just like, let's do it. We're gonna win. If not, not. But
yeah, you just keep pushing forward. So so now you have are they all full time or are they just like part time?
I have them working to the position. The 3 guys. So my main designer is full time, and then the illustrator is full time. And then the second illustrator, he's part-time right now, but because I just barely got him on the team like about 2 weeks ago. And it's like a vetting process. So he's working, communicating, and we're communicating. He's working hard, and he's like showing me his work and stuff like that. It's really good work, top level stuff, the way I want it to be at. And communication is key with me, right? Like if I can get on a phone call with you and call you right away, I'm going to do it. So once I see that he's doing really good, and if he has any questions, I'll do when I got him on, it was the phone call right away, talking to him, see how he talks to me and goes back and forth. And he told me I have a lot of energy. So I was like, I was like, this is the way I am, man. We got to get stuff done. And I want it done a certain way, and I just want to be the best, right? And that's the most important thing to me. And stuff, if we're the best, you get rewarded and you get paid good, right? And I pay him well. And that's the most important thing to me too, because I want to make sure they're happy. Because if they're not happy, they don't have to do it. Then no one has to do nothing in this world. And I believe that. And I'm just like, dude, you don't have to do this for me. You don't do that. You don't have to. But like, my goal is to build a long-term relationship with you where we're working for 3 or 4 or 5 years.
Are they US based, or do you hire
Yeah.
overseas, or
One's in Macedon. I think it's Macedon. I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Macedonia or something?
Macedonia. There you go. And then the Philippines. Philippines. I love my Filipino workers, man. They're dope.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
I might be Filipino and I don't even know it, but they're dope, man. So they're good people, and they're very hardworking, and I enjoy working with them. And also too, like let's say I think a full time out there is like $250-$300 a month. So
Yeah, it's crazy what you can get cost wise. Because I've actually been exploring that a little bit more too, and I need to step up my game. I have a part time designer, right? But I normally, because I'm still not at the scale. Like you're at what, tier 100,000 or 200,000 now, or something?
200. I'm a dragon. 200.
Nice. See, I'm still at tier 4,000, so I'm maxed out on my slots. Like I should still be designing more, but I've kind of put a pause on it to focus on other stuff. But like as I get tiered up, I do want to bring someone on so that I can get a lot more scale there. So I've been thinking about it a lot more, and yeah, it's like I've been looking around on onlinejobs.ph. I don't know where do you do your hiring off Upwork, or what do you use?
You do Upwork or onlinejobs.ph.
Okay, online jobs. Yeah, and it's crazy. Like there's people on there, they're posting $500 a month, which to someone in the US, that's not a lot of money for a full-time employee, but money goes a lot further out there. Yeah. So yeah,
and then also too, just like my main one, he makes other side money too as well with me, because they do other stuff with so for like line drawings and stuff like that. So he makes a good like between $500 to $600 a month.
So he's looking like a king out there.
Yeah, his ass ain't going nowhere. He's gonna stay in with me. He ain't going nowhere. So that's another thing too. He's like, you understand that type of stuff. It's just like, if you see someone that's really good, give him more work. You give them more work, you keep them occupied. They won't do any more work anywhere else because they know that this is going to be a consistent pay, right? And that's rent somewhere, right? How much he's making over here in US can be rent somewhere, right? And that's another thing. And that's it's crazy because $500-$600 a month, and people are like, oh, where the heck is that? You're not going to pay that anywhere. Well, if you go like Midwest or something like that, you probably pay that, but not in California, right? Yeah. So you can probably do that. So that's someone's cost of living or their rent or whatever it is. So it's just, once you find someone good, the way that you're going to keep them is by growing your business and scaling and stuff like that. Like, so for example, like my guys, they have target goals this week that they have to hit, and I want to make sure they hit them. So what am I going to do? I'm actually going to get on a call with them and see what I can do to help them. And if they don't hit it, whose fault is that? It's my fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault because they're not hitting them. And
I like that. I like how the accountability thing. I think that's super important. And but the whole management thing is a whole nother skill set in itself, and of itself, right? So yeah, I mean, that's another big thing that I want to explore more. So it's cool to hear about it from you. But I know you mentioned you're focusing this year on YouTube, KDP, Merch by Amazon, but I guess just in general, like, what are you most excited about in this whole world of like content creation, print on demand, e-commerce? Because for 2021, what are you most excited about right now?
I think I have a goal with Merch by Amazon. I think it's just that's going to be it right there, man. It just I want to hit over 100K in royalties this year, and I think I can. And I'm really close right there. So I think I'm on track to do it. And
how many live designs do you have?
I don't even know, dude. I have like a ton of products up, but I have no live designs, and it's crazy because it's just, let me see, 91K live products. So then all those are not designs, of course, right? Those are just different types of products. But
I mean, unique designs, they're just not all unique, right?
Yeah, it's just like different products uploading to different countries and stuff like that now. So that's another thing too, as well, with the different countries. I want to get more sales up over there and be consistent over there, because the US is like, it crushes, it does really well. But if I can get other sales over there and do stuff like that. Also, another thing is just I'm more excited about just creating content and stuff in general, based on what I'm doing, because I'm testing a lot of stuff out. But I want to be able to take it to the next level of just growing more as an individual, and pushing myself to the next level. So that's what I've been focusing more on, as far as like daily goals and tasks and stuff like that. I think it just what got me here. I just want to double down on doing better, doing more stuff, and helping more people. But at the same time, just accountability for myself as an individual, as a human being. seeing what I can do to push myself to those limits, because sometimes I sit there and I tell myself like, dude, all right, just take a break. Yes, take a break, but you can take a break and stuff like that, but like you want to work. I feel like I want to work hard to where I deserve that break, and I've been taking like Saturdays and Sundays off. I'm not saying hustle hard, work 18 hours a day. I'm not saying that. I'm saying more of like wake up at, let's say I wake up. I woke up today at 7:00 in the morning, straight to the gym, stuff like that. Have my calendar, had it marked in my calendar. So I had my accountability, 8:00 in the morning to the gym. I want to get it sooner, 7:00. And then, the next thing you know, I'm at 5:00, kind of get that down more. And then be able to accomplish more of my goals by the hour, and kind of hold myself accountable to that. So if I have to do research for merch by Amazon for 1 hour, I will do that. If I have to call somebody, I'll mark it for a 30-minute call with somebody. If I have to do an interview, I mark it in my calendar and stuff like that. So that's what I mean by that. And if I'm done, I want to be done by 5 p.m. That's it. None of this. I'll shut off.
Nice.
That's it. So sometimes I catch myself doing like some TikTok videos and stuff like that, because that's a new thing to do. But even at that too, even as I'm getting older, I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to do TikTok. And then next thing you know, I start doing. But that's just that's my personality, man. It's part of my personality,
Sure.
And you can see who I am as I do stuff and make content. Right? I mess up a lot. I mess up sometimes, but I still do it. But as far as like the TikTok content, I think it's really cool. It's more. It's a lot of positivity on there, man. A lot of cool stuff. So I enjoy it. It's fun. It's fun, right? But then sometimes you get into that mood where, oh, dude, I don't want to do this today, and it's time to. That means it's time to take a break, man. Just relax. You did a lot already this week. Just relax. So that's what time management comes into place, because if you don't have that down, you're gonna be overwhelmed, and then here comes the anxiety right behind it. You're like, oh God, here comes the anxiety, and then especially with 2020, with everything that it threw at us. The anxiety, you know what I mean? It's right there.
It's sitting right there.
Because you're trying to do everything too much at once, right? And you try to do everything at once, and you're just like, dude, I can't do all this. Like, what's going on? But then it's because you don't have your schedule, your time management down, and stuff like that. And next thing you know, you're just overwhelmed with everything. Yeah. So I've done that where a few times where I'll post something and then I get like 100 comments. I'm like, oh God.
You're like, why did I create this content?
Yeah. I'm like, oh God. But at the same time, just because it's not like it's getting more, like stuff is getting more competitive and stuff like that. And there's more stuff going on. You're getting more competitive with your businesses and stuff like that. And people are, well, not you, just you're your own competition at the end of the day, but there's more competition. So it takes more work. Right. So as far as like your business, as for like merch by Amazon and stuff like that, it's like certain things don't sell because of this and because of that, but you can make a lot of sales. You just have to focus on, you have to work at it. Right. And that's the thing. It's not as easy as it was before. You post something and make a sell. You have to actually work
at it. It used to be. It's first of all, you should add writing a book to your goals, because that was like a really wholesome and good, like motivational speech that you just subtly gave about just getting things done, focusing. And I think, I know I struggle with it too. It's like, there's all these new apps right now. There's like Clubhouse, there's TikTok. There's like so many other little things that are pulling my attention, or like, oh, maybe I should be over there. Maybe I should be over there. But it's like, at the end of the day, if you have something that's working, double down on that. Don't close your mind to everything else, right? Because there might be other good opportunities out there, but focus like 95% on what's already working. And then keep that extra like 5-10% open in case there's other stuff out there, right? And I feel like you do that super well. I'm taking notes over here. I'm going to rewatch this video a few times. So, that's it. It's a challenge to focus and get everything done, but just keep making progress every single day, right? That's what keeps keeps kind of pushing you along. So,
no, dude, it's crazy.
5 p.m. every day is when we catch RJ Martinez on Twitch live stream. Is that when you log on or what?
Oh, okay. No, I've been messing around with it a little bit, but look see, this is the thing. I'm kind of slacking over there because I know what to do already to grow a brand on Twitch and grow my gaming channel, right? I know what to do. Okay. I've done this with a lot of things, but next thing you know I'm not no punk. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to like, boom, do it. And then I'll bounce. No, I'm going to sit there and work at it. And I'm like, oh man, I'm not going to, I don't want to do that. Like, and next thing you know, I have something else on my plate that I'm going to add to it. Right. But I enjoy playing video games. It's just I did that as a kid growing up, man. Like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
take
What are you into? Call of Duty?
Call of Duty, and like I
Yeah.
played NBA Jam back in the day when it was on
Nice,
I
nice.
think that was on Super Nintendo back in the day. I think it was Super Nintendo. But I would do that to kind of take me out of my mind state when I was a kid to kind of get away from everything, right? And it was like more of my and the next thing you know it
Your
just grew
escape.
with me. Yeah, it just grew with me, man. And I enjoy it because it's just a breather and talking to people and stuff like that. I think it's a whole day. It's like a meditation for me. It's really fun, right? And a lot of people, oh, you play video games, you're too old. Those little kids on there tell me all the time, how old are you? 30. Dang, you're old. I'm like, be quiet, fool. You don't know.
Doing that, man. It's crazy. I go back on, like, I still go on Call of Duty every once in a while. I'm like, dude, I cannot. You have to be like a full-time player now to be doing anything good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Some good people on there, but literally, and I tell my friends this too all the time that play with me. I'm just like, dude, you want to grow a brand? Like, I would tell them what they need to do. Like, this is what you need to do, but you just have to work at it, right? It's not just like, oh yeah, set it and forget it type of thing. If you want to grow a brand right now, just go on TikTok and start making videos. Like my second video that I created with my gaming channel, my second video did over 10,000 views. Second on TikTok, and then the third one I did it the other day, and it got 700 views. But that is big. No one knows who I am on there. That's another thing too. You don't have to do none of this stuff. You can go somewhere else and no one will know who you are. That's how big this world is. And I'm just like, dude, this is crazy.
On a new platform if you mess up on one of them.
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. Right?
Yeah.
What'd you say right there?
Cool thing too is like looking at that the other way. Like once you build an audience or learn how to build an audience in one place, like you take those skills and you can go anywhere else, right? And in some cases, bring your audience with you. If you want to start telling people, hey, go follow me on Twitch. I think you drop it every once in a while in some of your videos, but that's another cool like benefit. Learn the skill once and you can apply it so many times. So that's another cool thing. I love creating content. I would just want more time to do it, but it is time consuming for sure.
Dude, you can literally just create you can create your own brand over there with, gaming, and just, I already have the logo and all that stuff, and there's t-shirts and the Facebook group and all that stuff. And it'd be really easy to create. But the thing is like one of the most, like, anybody can create a Shopify store. Anybody can create a merch by Amazon account. Anybody can create a Redbubble account. Anyone can create a KDP account. The hardest part of all this stuff, right, is driving the traffic. That's the hardest part. And some people think, oh yeah, you got to spend tons of money. You don't have to. You just got to leverage, like, what's the land grab right now? Clubhouse,
totally. And
TikTok. You know what I mean? And I've done this over and over and over and over. You don't need to do anything. I can be an expert at anything I want to be at, right? But the hardest part that I see to this day is driving your own traffic. Because sometimes you actually have to put yourself out there. You don't have to, but that's the hardest part. So just accountability, right? Yourself, right? Then you're holding yourself accountable, because next thing you know, you're doing all this content and you're like, dude, what the heck? Now I gotta do this full time now.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's definitely a struggle, but I mean, that's also that's the reason I love Merch by Amazon, is it already has that pre-built audience, right? I don't have to drive. I can drive extra traffic, but at least there's already traffic on there. Same with Etsy, not to the same extent. Spreadshirt, all these other sites, they have traffic too, but creating a Shopify store, your own website's this whole nother thing, right? If you are responsible for a lot more, you have a lot more control maybe, but there's so much more that you have to take ownership of. And that's not a realm that I'm ready to explore really, but maybe I'll get there soon. So we've talked about a ton of different stuff, like, oh, and by the way, I'm going to put your Twitch channel down in the description for anyone that is interested in finding RJ. But so we've talked about everything from like retail arbitrage, print on demand. If you were starting over from scratch today, what would you do? Like, would you still start with doing something like retail arbitrage? Would you go straight to doing merch by Amazon or print on demand, or selling in just a different place? What would you do?
I think it all depends.
Yeah,
it depends, right? Like right now, what's the shiny thing right now? I think is it's not as far as like it's not print on demand, but I want to say like something right now would be like a Facebook Marketplace, right? I would probably test something over there and see if it sells, because that's like the Amazon is not. It's not too late to start, right? Sure. But it's a little bit more competition, but it's never too late over there. But it just takes more work, because if there's more competition, it takes more work. So now, like with Facebook Marketplace, it's like it been testing a few things over there, right? And you make sales over there, and you can literally just like drop ship stuff over there, and or put a product up or put a shirt up, and it'll sell over there, right? Little things like that. And it just, not too many people know about it. Right. And it's not, there's content being created right now on it, but it's not going to be flooded. I don't think it will ever be, because the way that they're kind of doing it with the algorithm. And this is another thing. It's like everywhere you go, it's like you're gonna hear an algorithm. If you're selling on a platform, it's gonna have an algorithm, because they're trying to automate it and make it easier for them to manage, right? So if you understand that and how they work as a business, right, and how they make money, it's literally, that's how you're gonna make money too. You just have to work with it. And I always tell people too, you learn the algorithm. If you help the algorithm, it's gonna reward you. So like that right now with Facebook Marketplace is like the new thing, right? It's new right now. People are making content. They're making tons of content.
Yeah. Have you put anything out on that yet?
Yeah. I've been testing and messing around with it.
Check that stuff out.
But like I just wanted to, like, you know what? I was like, dude, this can pay for something. And just messing with a few things over there. But that's the first thing I think about too, is just messing around with it and see what happens. And you make a few sales. I'm like, oh, cool. So it does work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, like the common theme I'm hearing with you is that it's really just, you're going to keep testing stuff, right? Like you're going to keep, like, I know I did this a little bit too with, I threw some stuff up on that app Wish a while ago. Didn't get any sales, right? But at least I learned, like, okay, Wish is not my marketplace, but maybe Facebook Marketplace, I could throw some stuff on there. That's the underlying thread is you're just testing nonstop. Yeah. And then you're doubling down on what's working, but you also leave a little bit of bandwidth to always be testing new stuff out.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel like I mean, it's a good lesson to learn for sure. So anyway, I don't want this to run on too long, RJ, but I don't know if you have any final thoughts or advice or anything, but I guess we kind of talked about the different places people can find you. So you're on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Where else? Is there anywhere else that people should check you out?
I got Instagram, I got YouTube, TikTok, Twitch.
All right.
There's Facebook group. Whatever you guys want to.
We'll link it all up down below in the description too. Yeah, so go check out RJ's channel. He has a ton of content on there. RJ, really appreciate it, man. Thanks so much for coming on. We need to do another one of these. I could literally talk for like another 3, 4, 5 hours. So we need to get you back on. But if you guys got value out of this video, if you want RJ back on to talk more, let us know in the comments. Give us a little thumbs up here so we know that you guys are getting something out of this. RJ, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.
Peace.